What's up, everybody? My name is Jordan Danzy, and if you are a home service business owner, that means plumbing, concrete, landscaping, HVAC, permanent LED lightings, junk removal, maybe you're even an event rental company, pool builders, whatever the case is, if you are a home service business, this video is going to be for you. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you three things. First, I'm going to be showing you how you can run our trust-based approach to Facebook and Instagram ads, and I'm going to show you the entire steps. At the end of this video, you should know how to launch an ad, how to film it, script it, edit it, everything, and start getting some leads from it. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you our Facebook and Instagram ad setup guide. You're going to be seeing our trust-based approach to advertising and how you can use it to hopefully get your first couple of leads. I'm also going to be showing you why agencies don't really work anymore in 2025, because nowadays the business owner has to be on camera and they have to be talking. We're going to deep dive into that just a little bit more. But ultimately, after the end of this video, you should know how to create your ad, film it, script it, edit it, get into Ads Manager, post it, and again, hopefully get your first couple of leads. So let's jump into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is in 2025, right now, the biggest thing you need to be focusing on within your home service business is consumer trust. This is the biggest thing right now, and it's just going down and down and down. This is because more consumers have been left with emptied out bank accounts. They're used to dealing with shady contractors. Maybe they've had something stolen before. And one of the biggest reasons, they now need, I'm going to write this all out, more info. Buyers now need more information to make a typical decision. Before, what it used to look like is you'd run some ads, you'd take them to a landing page, and they'd buy. That's the old way of doing things. This doesn't work anymore. And especially with your approach to marketing, consumer trust is at an all-time low, so you can't just throw up a $500 offer anymore and hope that converts through a landing page. And the second thing you need to be focusing on is that more and more people are entering this space. Competition is getting more and more and more. More people want to start businesses, more people want to become an entrepreneur, and what that means is everybody is racing to the bottom of price. Everyone is undercutting everybody else, and it's just going cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, which leads to the two worst things that you can have. All-time low consumer trust, a lot of people entering the market. What does that mean? Price wars. So if you're currently dealing with price wars, more than likely your brand is not established and you have a lot of work to do within your advertising. The second biggest thing is lead costs are going up. So it might cost you more to get leads than what you're used to. If you were running Facebook ads back in 2011, your lead costs were probably pennies on the dollar to what they're compared to now. A $5 per lead anymore is a little bit unrealistic, and it's going to be a little bit more expensive. Now let's talk about agencies, right? And why they are slowly dying off. So the biggest thing with agencies nowadays is what they would used to have is they used to have this creative, right, that was performing really, really well. And maybe this worked really good for concrete or landscaping companies, right? So what would happen is, let's go ahead and let's just say this is your area, right? And this is you, this is your business, and this is your competitor. So what happens is this agency signs you on as a client, and you're going to start running this ad. I'm going to put an A in here, and it's going to start driving traffic, right? You're going to start running that ad, and maybe it starts to get some results. Maybe your face isn't in it. It's basic. It's okay. That's all right. But what happens when they sign this client next door to you and they start running the same type of ad? Well, you, my friend, have just now lost a lot of consumer trust, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse for you. As well, to further the point that agencies do not work like they used to, agency ads are getting worse and worse. You can learn the skill yourself. Agencies used to pride themselves in targeting, right? This was their biggest thing is, oh, we have the targeting down. We know how to target your ideal type of client. Well, targeting is practically dead now. Facebook wants to do one thing. Facebook has slowly come out with more and more updates, making it easier and easier for the common user to use their platform. Ideally, what they would like is a one-click kind of function to where you run an ad and you get results. This is what they want. One click, one ad, get some results. Or maybe a couple, multiple ads, whatever the case is, but they want it to be simplistic. So targeting is slowly dying off. Now, there is some specific use cases for targeting. However, we have noticed in a local lead generation, you don't need it. So now that we've kind of talked about why consumer trust is at an all-time low, competition is at an all-time high, and agencies don't work, what do? Well, you run a trust-based approach, right? And this is the main thing that we preach in the three-pillar framework is our trust-based approach. What does this mean? You talking behind camera. You need to talk behind the camera in your ad as the business owner. People want to know who is going to show up to their doorstep. And if they're not if it's just a faceless company anymore, it is dying off. You cannot be faceless as a business owner. You need to get yourself out there and start making content and start creating your brand. But more importantly, in your advertising, somebody within your company needs to be doing it. And more than likely, it needs to be the business owner because you get the best types of results with this. So now let's talk about one of the most important parts about a Facebook ad, the creative. If your creative is not on point, you lose. You win on creative. Targeting doesn't matter anymore. You win on creative. And your creative needs to have these couple of things. The first thing you need to have is a localized call out. Calling out your ideal type of client, home service business owners, automotive owners, Utah homeowners, whatever the case may be. You need to have a localized call out to your town. What I have noticed is if you are in a small town, let's say under 200,000 people, and it's maybe a little bit rural, if you put the town name in the call out, you're going to see some pretty good results. If you're in like a metro, a bigger city, a little bit of a bigger type area like the Salt Lake Valley, you can typically just kind of narrow it down to what type of homeowner or what type of client you're going to be working with. So Utah homeowners, that you can kind of just narrow it down. Next, what I like to do after this, and this is where some people won't agree with me, however, I see the best results with it. I like to agitate the pain at this point. And it's not just a pain of, oh, are you tired of your dirty car? It's a deep emotional pain that you want to try and hit, which is, hey, are you tired of your friends getting in the car and you feel judged for having a dirty car? Like that's what you want to get you, the deep emotional pain that they have to feel that is they're not really expressing. If you can agitate that pain and kind of poke it a little bit, you'll grasp their attention a lot more. And I like to put these within it's the hook. This is the hook. First 3 seconds, right? 3 to 8 seconds, your first couple of lines, you should call out your ideal client and agitate the pain. From there, you want to get into the meat of the creative, which is going to be what you do and how you're different. Woo, my writing is chopped. So you want to first hit them with your localized call out, the hook, and agitate the pain. Second, what do you do and how you're different? This is the meat of it, right? So this is your primary service. We're an automotive detailing company. We come straight to your door. On top of that too, we have 100% will show up on time or your money back guaranteed with our satisfaction guarantee. We're the only detailer in Utah that does this, that, whatever the case is, right? This is your meat of your service, what you actually do. Next, and this is kind of how I frame most of our clients' ads, is the first 2 to 8 seconds is typically the localized call out and the pain. The rest of the video, I would say around 15 to 20 seconds is what you do and how you're different. And then at the end, you want to have an offer for the client. The better you make this offer, the better they will convert. So make a good offer. We help all of our clients in the 3-pillar framework come up with irresistible offers, whether that be a free upgrade, whatever the case. We create the best type of offer, and that's how we've been able to convert a lot of people within our framework. Now, create the offer and make it good. And then also, side note, it needs to expire, right? You need to have some sense of urgency in your offer, or people will not be as inclined. So put some sense of urgency, some sense of now, end of summer, within the month, whatever the case. And then you need to have a CTA, which is basically telling them what to do. Now, if you're running Instagram ads, it's going to be follow our Instagram page, or if you're running Facebook ads, it's going to be click learn more down below, get quote, whatever the case may be. This is the biggest thing when you're running Facebook and Instagram ads. If you do not have the creative down, this will not work for you. Most people who are like, Facebook ads don't work, Instagram ads don't work for my business, you probably had a shit ad. I'm sorry to say it. Your ads probably weren't good. It was probably a little bit of a skill issue. And unfortunately, that's just the sad truth, is you've got to have a good creative. Now, you're probably like, oh, Jordan, I don't have a camera. I don't have a microphone. I don't have all of this. You don't need that. You just need an iPhone and a $20 lapel mic. These are the only two things you need to make a banger ad. And one of the easiest ads you can film is just here. Let me grab my phone here. Is just, hey guys, this is the blah, 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 so and so. It's just here, right? Just walking around. They convert. Another thing you can do is when you are filming your ad, and I'm getting into the scripting a little bit here. So once you have fully scripted out your ad and you have seen that, oh, this is super, super good, the first thing you want to do, and this is where I see a lot of people get a little bit too crazy. So once the ad is done, I just want to make sure I'm not losing anybody here. Once the ad is done, or the script of the ad is done, dumb it down, man. What's the reading level, right? What's the reading level? I like to have 7th grade or below as a reading level, and needs to be easy and you cannot confuse people. The next thing is it needs to be anywhere from 30 to 45 seconds. Anything longer, trim it down, all right? That was badass. 30 to 45 seconds. Anything longer, trim it down. Next, what you want to do is take that script and put it into digestible lines. So this is a line, this is a line, this is a line. And what you can do, because nobody can remember a 45-second script and do the whole entire thing. So what you do is you just put it into little digestible contents. This is shot 1, sentence 1, right? This is shot 2, sentence 2. This is shot 2, sentence 2. Now what you can do as well, on top of this, is when you have these laid out like this, all you have to do is film one line, change the scenery up, film the next, change the scenery up, film the next. And filming your ad should be it should be interactive and fun. So what you can do is when you're filming it up, change the shots. Have a walking shot, then maybe the next shot you're sitting. Then maybe at the next shot after that you're standing, jumping, laying down. Like, you want to keep it moving, keep it interesting. Your ad needs to be engaging. Yes, this works very well. Hey, blah 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 blah. But your script has got to be down. If you can get somebody to record you, and maybe you jump out of the back of your van, right? Maybe that's the things like you're sitting there and you're an HVAC technician, and boom, out the back of the van. What's up, guys? We're doing this, whatever. You go into your script. You need to make it engaging and make it fun. So that's the biggest thing that I can give you. So now I know I've just sent a lot of information your way, but I want to go ahead and recap it for you just to make sure before we move on to the meat and potatoes of Ads Manager that you have the scripting 100% down. So first things first, your creative needs to be on point. I would rather you spend more time making the creative, getting the shots done, and really getting this honed out than actually filming out your ads. Inside of your creative, you need to have these things: a localized call out, an agitated pain, what you do, differentiator, if you have one. You really should. Everybody should be different in some type of way. A differentiator, on top of that, an offer that expires, and then a CTA, right? This is your creative. You need to have this on point. And if this is the one thing you take away from this video, please let it be that your creative is how you win on Facebook ads. If it's not performing the way you want it, redo your creatives. Now, in this too, make the creative engaging. Have a line, a line, a line, and a line, and each of these is a new shot. Wow, my handwriting is shot. So each of these is a new shot, a new line, a new scenery, whatever the case may be. Ideally, you want to be filming this somewhere on a job site, somewhere where you guys are actually doing the work. However, one of our best performing ads is out in the middle of a field with a skid steer. So it doesn't have to be at a job site if you don't have any jobs lined up right now. Go to a park, go to a field, whatever can somewhat pertain to what you do. Try to have a scenery match the ad. And once you have all of that, you have the localized call out, you have the agitated pain, what you do, the differentiate, the offer, and the CTA. So about 6 things there. Yeah, right. Yeah, 6 things. Once you have those 6 things down, then you can move on to your actual filming, getting it all up, edited. On top of that, get that all done, edited. It doesn't need to be highly edited. Just throw some captions on there, some transitions. Simple CapCut YouTube tutorial will do you very well on that. And then you will be finally ready to jump into the Ads Manager side of things. So real quick, I'm going to briefly go over Ads Manager so you have a little bit of a basic idea, and then we'll jump into it more. So with Facebook ads, there's about a million different ways you can run ads. There's millions of things you can do. There's totally like 500 different strategies. However, for home service and just localized home service lead generation, it's pretty simple. So I want to break down just the key simplicity things that are going to help you just kind of better understand it before we actually get into the Ads Manager. So the first thing I want to tell you about is Ads Manager has 3 key components. You have campaigns, you have ad sets, and you have ads, right? These are the big 3 campaigns, and each of these has a little bit of a subcategory. So the first thing I'm going to focus on is campaigns. Now, in campaigns, you can have multiple campaign types. I like to say that most companies are just going to have like one campaign going when they start. You're not going to have multiple of these. But in these campaigns, you can drive them to multiple things. You can drive them to lead forms, which is what we're going to be doing. You can drive them to a website, right? You can also get DMs or messages. And then as well, you can get like profile visits and a lot more, right? It can get really, really creative with campaigns and what you can do on that. And there's multiple types, but the basic thing that we're going to be doing for campaigns is we're going to be doing lead forms. Now, underneath campaigns, we have the ad sets, right? And the ad sets is where you're going to do a couple of different things. In each ad set, you have targeting, the budget, which you're going to set. Oh, that was bad, G. Ew. On top of that, you have audiences. And then you have placements. So these are the 4 main things inside of your ad set that you're going to have to be dealing with: the targeting, the budget, the audience, and the placements. Lucky for you, the biggest thing that you have to be worrying about is the audience and the placements and the budget. Targeting is dead, like I said before. So this is why you don't need an agency anymore. Now, under each ad set, you have ads, right? So you have the ad set. Underneath that, you have the ads. Now, I want to kind of draw this out just so you can kind of see what it looks like, right? And this is an example. Please do not structure your campaigns like this. However, you have a campaign, right? This is just getting simple here. You have campaign, and that's a terrible box. And maybe that campaign has two ad sets, both at $20 a day, and maybe one's targeted and one's broad, right? And then underneath that ad set, each ad set has 3 different ads, right? So this is how you can kind of grasp it, right? So you have your campaign on top, which is the main mamba jumba, right? Main guy, the hot shot. Underneath there, you have the ad sets, which actually control basically what you're doing. And this is where you set the budget on top of that. And then underneath the ad sets, you have your actual ads or the creatives you are testing. So going back real quick, we have our campaigns, which we're going to be focusing on a lead form type of style. We have our ad sets, which you don't have to be worrying about targeting, but that goes over the budget, the audience, and the placements. And then underneath you have your ads, which is actually where you create the forms, by the way. And then on top of that, it's where you can test all of your creatives. We're going to set up a very, very simple campaign for you that's just going to help you get hopefully your first couple of leads in the door. So let's go ahead and jump into Ads Manager, and I'll show you this entire process in there. Awesome. So we're now in the ads account. This is a brand new ad account that I went ahead and made. Don't mind the name of it saying main ad account, however, because that's not it. We're running a lot of ads right now, but I wanted to get something that looks like yours and probably what you're used to seeing. So if you don't know how to get here, you're going to go to business.facebook.com into your My Meta or your Meta Business Suite. From there, in the left-hand corner, there's a thing that says Ads Manager. Go ahead and click on that. From there, we are going to again go over just a couple of basic things. You have your campaigns, you have your ad sets, and then on top of that, you have your ads. Now, when we are creating a campaign, the first thing that we're going to go ahead and do, click Create, Leads, and then Continue. Now, Facebook is going to want you to set up a tailored campaign. You don't need to do this, so you're going to go ahead and select Manual Leads Campaign and click Continue. From here, it's going to be a new campaign type, and this is the screen that a lot of advertisers are used to seeing, or you have probably seen in a couple of YouTube videos, but don't worry, it's not that hard, it's not that scary. So what you can go ahead do is name this whatever you'd like. I'm just gonna name it Campaign 1, and then we can go down with a couple of other options. So here, don't worry about anything on this. If this is checked on, I want you to go ahead and turn it off. We do not want an Advantage Plus campaign budget, no A/B test, and no special categories. Campaign settings, relatively simple. From there, you're gonna go ahead and go into your ad sets. Now, we can name this whatever we want. I'm gonna name this Ad Set 1, and here is where you can make a decision. So, I prefer running everything in an instant form. I feel like it's a little bit more of a high intent type of lead, or you can do messages. And this is where people get all sorts of iffy on what's the best strategy. I say try instant forms, and if it doesn't work, go to messengers, and you might get a little bit more leads there. From there, you can go ahead and scroll down, and you want to make sure your Facebook page or your Instagram page are linked together. There's a ton of YouTube videos out there for that. And then you can keep scrolling down to where it says budget and schedule. Minimum, you want to start with at least $20 per day. Anything less than that, I to be honest, haven't tried, don't know. With all of our clients, we start at $20 a day because it's an easy number to start with and scale up from there. No options on here. It's relatively simple. When we get down to audience controls and Advantage Plus audience, this is where you're going to want to do a couple of things. So down here, there's an option that says switch to original audience options. Sometimes there's also something over here that says further limit the reach of your ads. You want to click that, and they're going to say, don't do this because we don't want you to. It's an outdated way, but this is the best type of way. Advantage Plus will go outside of your town and show your ads to people who recently visited or are thinking about visiting your area. Now, in here, we can go ahead and go to locations and select our town. Now, I like to just drop pins. I think dropping pins is just the best type. Yes, you can go in here and type Salt Lake, county, right? Because that's where I am. I'm in the Tooele. However, we can go here, Salt Lake County, right, and get this whole selection. Look at that. Looks awesome. Oh man, we're targeting the entire Salt Lake County. That's what I want to do. No, I would rather you service this area, right? Just this one, than having to service all the way up here, all the way down here, and have your drive times be crazy, right? Let's service the area that we are the most, which is going to be in this Salt Lake type of valley. So I say just drop a 10-mile radius of where you want to work. Where are the type of clients you want to service, the rich ones, where you can get the best type of money. So you're going to go in here and just drop a simple 10-mile pin in your area. Don't go crazy like this, right? On $20 a day, you do not have a budget to hit all of these people, all of these homes. There's a lot of people right here. $20 a day is not going to hit them. Now, so just hit your little area right here. I'm going to go ahead and shrink this. As you can see here, just in this area, it's 500,000 people, and that's just estimated, right? I never look at this over here because they always want you to do the opposite of what you're supposed to. Now, from there, you're going to go ahead and click an age. I like to raise this to 25, especially for home service. And then here in detailed targeting, you can click edit and uncheck Advantage Plus detailed targeting. Uncheck it. You want to only be showing your ads in this circle, not outside of it. So go ahead and uncheck that. From there, you're going to scroll down and you're going to go ahead and uncheck Advantage Plus placements, go to manual, and there's, guys, I'm just saying this is a very basic and simple ad setup. There is a lot of strategy that goes into this, into making sure that you're able to pump like crazy to get from 30K to 100K a month. Which if you want to see, go ahead and go to my Instagram, check out our client wins, jordandanzy.ut. Shoot us a DM and we'll be able to help you out if you're interested in seeing what our 3-pillar framework can do for your home service business. Now, back to this. Sorry, a little self shout out there. So basically, you want to make sure we can go back down to placements, manual placements, and turn off audience network. Now from here, this is a pretty good solid ad set targeting. So then you're going to go into your ad, which is up here in the top left, campaign, ad sets, ads. We're going to go ahead and just name this, let's say ad 1. Here's where you will see your Facebook and your Instagram account are linked, your ad setup, and then this is where you create your forms. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just create a form with you. When we're creating forms, I'm just going to go call this, test form. When we're creating forms, I like the more volume route. And my methodology for this is the path of least resistance until it's too much, right? Because when there's too many leads coming in, maybe there are too many bad quality leads, whatever the case may be, the path of least resistance and then add friction. So we go more volume, no intro, like none of this. No, none of this, like full name, email, and you need a phone number, right? So name, phone number, email. That's it, right? And I have the very most simple things in here. Go ahead and add your privacy policy here. If you don't have one, then just throw your website. However, I would get a privacy policy. If you don't have a website, you need to go make a website. Now, so it's going to yell at me because I don't have one. But then you can go ahead and set this. I like to have it set to call the business afterwards. Or if you have a landing page, go ahead or if you have a really good website, you can send them there as well. I like to just say call us, and hopefully you get the call. So from there, you've basically set up your form, and that's where people are going to fill out, and you'll get the leads there. Now, as we scroll down past the instant form creation, there's a lot of things like require SMS to submit. No, you don't want to do that. Follow up with the leads. Don't worry about it. You can set up to where they get emailed to you in your inbox. However, here is where you're going to select your ad and actually get the creatives. Now, I don't have an ad, but you can go ahead and click edit media, and it's going to pop up with a bunch of stuff that you can use. We can go ahead and just put this one in here for now, and then all this price. So let me backtrack. Sorry about this. I got a little too ahead of myself. So in here, what you can go ahead and do is in the add creative spot, you can click edit, edit media, or it's going to say add media, and then you can upload your ad right here and have it in. Or if you posted it to your Instagram account and they're linked, you can see that in here. If you're only seeing images, you can go ahead, remove the media, and add a video ad. Here's where you're going to see a bunch of other stuff. Here's all of our accounts. So let's just go ahead and throw Dallin in here. Hey everybody, sorry for the random jump cut here. The audio quality has died from this video, and so I'm filming this a couple of days later. And of course, when I'm filming this video, I happen to have to be sick. And I'm pretty sick, so if you hear me sniffle or you just think I sound terrible, please bear with me. We're almost at the end of the video, but I wanted to get this value out to you to make sure you know how to create this ad. So essentially, and I am filming this a little couple days away, so it's a little bit different, but essentially, after you have your campaign all set up, which is very easy, you have your ad set, which I would argue is probably one of the most important parts. I also want to preface, do not worry what anything over here is stated. You want to focus on your primary text. Now, you can use ChatGPT, absolutely. I have actually pulled it up, and this is the one that ChatGPT pulled up. I said, I am a landscaping company writing a primary text for a Facebook ad. That's exactly what I told ChatGPT, and I said, can you write me something descriptive? And it went ahead and did this. Now, this is pretty great. However, in the primary text, what I would add to this is a localized call out. So Utah homeowners. That's not how you spell homeowners. Homeowners, right? And then you can either put the exclamation mark, or because this is more geared towards landscaping, I want to do a tree. And so you want to have your your call out in the beginning, and then you want to kind of go onto the pane. Now this is something you can tell ChatGPT to do, or you can write it yourself. But what I would like to say for this is, if you are serious about running ads and you really want to see results, spend time on your primary text, and you want to almost treat it as a rewrite of the ad. So your call out and then the pane, and then you can kind of go into like what you do. And then at the end, you can go ahead and have a call to action, click learn more, make sure it matches your actual CTA. And then from there, you should be good to go. And that's going to be the primary text. That's going to be this right here, as you can see in the post. Now, well, after that, you want your headline, which is down here. And I like to do something very simple, like get concrete today, love your new backyard, get the pool of your dreams, get your concrete sealed. Very simple, like what you do and get it today kind of deal. Very basic, don't overthink the headlines, throw an emoji at the end, and you'll be good. For the description, now this is what pops up. You can see very closely here, maybe I can kind of zoom in a little bit. See where it says form right here on this template? So that is where your description is going to pop up. And so here, I just like to say, get a free quote today. It's very simple, and that description part is super, super small. Pardon me. So I just say, get a free quote today. And then I typically will do either get quote or get offer or learn more depending on your situation. However, once you have done that, you have fully built out your ads, you can go ahead and click publish. Just do a quick look over to make sure everything is okay. You are on a lead optimization campaign, no Advantage Plus. Your ad sets are named. You're on instant form and or messenger, you choose. If I can't remember in the video, messages is a really good way to get more leads if you're struggling with leads. However, the quality of them can be a little bit less. Your budget and schedule, which is $20 per day. And then from there, you can scroll down, make sure you switch to the original audience. You set your location, your age, detailed targeting. Oh, look at this. I have caught something here, which is really good. I'm going to click edit. Make sure that is turned off. This is why we go back and we check everything just like I did here. You want to make sure that is turned off. And then placements, you want Facebook and Instagram. Ads, create your simple lead form, path of least resistance in the beginning. And then from there, you are good to go. And you can select publish. I'm not going to do that because I'm not running this as an ad. But if you found this helpful, and I hope you have, please make sure to like and subscribe for this YouTube video. Would really make my day. And ultimately, I'm hoping I can just provide as much value as possible. And you can get your first couple of leads If you want to jumpstart this process and you want to see what we've done with 22 plus local home service business owners in our 3 pillar framework, there's a link down below where you can go to my Instagram channel. I'm so sick. I'm so sorry. You can go to my Instagram channel and shoot me a DM, and we can start getting in some conversations as well. There is another link where you can just book a call if you want to book a call with us and see what we do. But other than that, please make sure to like, subscribe, share this with other fellow business owners that could be utilizing Facebook ads better, especially if they're in the home service industry. And stay tuned for more content. Love y'all. Hope you have a great day.